What's up guys, Ryan here. Today I wanted to take a minute and reflect on the fact that I'm 2 years into my Amazon merch journey, which is absolutely crazy because it feels like it wasn't that long ago when I finally got accepted into Merch by Amazon and didn't have a clue what it even really was and what a gold mine I was sitting on. I actually didn't upload a shirt for the first few weeks, and then I don't know what reminded me that I had the account, but I was like, oh, I should probably figure out how this works and at least try it. Especially because I applied to get into merch in October of 2016 and never heard back. And then it just fell off my radar completely. But I ended up reapplying in February 2017 and then got in somewhere around mid-March 2017. However, I didn't get my first sales until April, which is why you're seeing my Pretty Merch Pro sales dashboard from my income report, which is actually the first income report I published on RyanHogue.com, because coincidentally I got my first profits, my first passive income profits from both Amazon Merch and Amazon FBA in the same month. So Amazon Merch brought in $14.47 of royalties on 5 sales. It doesn't sound like much, but it just proved to me that it worked. Like, conceptually, I started to understand how this whole thing was really working, because after I got these sales, I didn't do anything. I did nothing. I could have went on a vacation for a week and I was still going to get the money deposited into my bank account for the work that I had done previously. And that is the whole point of passive income. It set in at that moment that, oh crap, not only did I sell some stuff on Amazon FBA and make a profit, but I'm also selling print on demand stuff through this program called Amazon Merch, and I think I'm onto something here. By the time you watch this, you're thinking, well, of course everybody knows about Amazon Merch. You know, there's communities everywhere. There's Facebook groups and the subreddits, and there's communities left, right, and center talking about print on demand platforms and how to make money. But back in 2017, early 2017, when I was accepted, there was a lot less resources out there. And I mean, the only one that even comes to mind is like Chris Green and his massive Merch by Amazon Facebook group that's up to like probably 80,000 people at this point, if not more. He was the one really, telling people ahead of time, hey, Amazon Merch, it's going to be big. It's going to be big. And he made a lot of people a lot of money. He was not the way I found out about it, but probably through some indirect way, I probably found out about it through him. But anyways, I signed up, I got in, I made 5 sales in April, and I was really interested in how far I could take this thing. So when I was first starting off on merch and I was in tier 10, I could only upload 1 shirt a day and I could have a maximum of 10 shirts available for sale. So I just made a point of hitting that 1 upload a day limit until I reached that max of 10. And then I would do my own little audit of all my live t-shirts and decide which ones weren't good enough, and I'd replace them with new designs. Little did I know that, and if you're watching this and you're in the early tiers, do this. If you delete a t-shirt to replace it because you're at your maximum slots, don't delete the design or lose it. Just immediately re-upload it and keep it as a draft, because once your upload limits are lifted and increased, you can just go into your drafts and make them live. You can submit them. So if you've already done all the keyword optimization, titles, brands, bullets, etc., don't let that go to waste, because when you delete them, there's no unpublish option, right? There's no unpublished to draft option, at least as of recording this. That would be nice to have in the future. Don't make the mistake I did, go through all the keyword optimization and then delete it. And for a time, I started using Google Sheets and spreadsheets and writing in all my keywords and bullets to try to save them. And eventually you get to the point where I'm in like tier 8,000 now, and I don't even have time to do that. But it's a good little trick and tactic for the early tiers while you're replacing t-shirts that you think aren't good enough and you're trying to maximize the chances of you getting those sales. Another pro tip as you're scaling your merch business that I learned along the way, probably when I got to maybe the 100 tier or the 500 tier, is that you need to save your designs, obviously. You don't want to delete them. As you scale and the number of designs you have starts to really multiply, you're going to want to really be smart about how you save them. Because if you forgot, Amazon Merch designs that don't sell within 180 days, and for me it was 90 days for the longest time, and then finally Amazon Merch doubled it, but they'll be deleted. So you need to re-upload them every so often. And the re-upload process is a lot easier to track, because you're not just going to sit down and re-upload all your designs in one sitting. It's much easier to track if you sort in some way. Like for instance, I just did alphabetically. So all my designs that start with A go in the A folder. And then when it's time for me to re-upload all my designs to merch, I open up a Google spreadsheet and I type one letter in each row. And when I finish uploading the A's, I put a little check mark. Then I go on to the B's, finish them, check mark, onto the C's, etc. So be smart about how you store your designs. So I got my first big win 3 months into my Amazon merch journey, where essentially I got a push notification to my phone, which, by the way, guys, if you're on Android, check out pushbullet.com. They're amazing. I almost never have to look at my phone during the day because I get all my notifications mirrored to my computer and I can manage them from my desktop or laptop computer. Saves so much time. I hate looking at my phone. So I just get a push notification mirrored to my computer. I see it. I look at what it is because it was sports related and I loved the sports niche. And some big pro athlete was wearing a shirt that was trolling people in the NBA. And I laughed and then I said, oh, wait a second. Light bulb went off. Ding. I should recreate this design and sell it on Amazon. So I was like the second person on Amazon selling this design. And it was pretty lucrative because essentially when I say push notification went out, it went out to any number of people. I mean, it's a big app. It probably has 100,000 to 1 million people. And all of a sudden people are going to start buying that shirt. So I was the second person in on Amazon offering that design. Later on that night and overnight into the next day, I did receive sales and I had it priced at $19.99. I think the person who beat me had it priced at like $21.99. So they were a little bit smarter there. Either way, we were making good money. I mean, this is back in 2017 where a t-shirt priced at $19.99 would make a $7.19 royalty. Obviously today, Amazon has changed the royalty payout structure in their favor to account for X, Y, and Z, whatever. But back then, it was a little bit more lucrative. Anyways, I 10x'd my royalties month over month. I took it from $99 to $996 royalties. And this was only my third month on the platform. And when you get to taste these big wins, it really draws you in and makes you hungry for more. So I was really dedicated from this moment on to make this merch thing happen if I wasn't already before. So here you can see my jump in sales. So April was really my first month on merch. Even though I was accepted in like mid to late March, I didn't do anything with my account. 5 sales in April, jumped to 22 in May, which is 4x. That's good. And then boom, 141 in June. So when you catch a trend, it's the best feeling ever because the sales just keep coming. But anyways, guys, one of the things that I should mention is how I think of passive income. I think of it from a real long-term perspective. So even when I had my first 5 sales for $14 of profit, I was thinking like, okay, if I was able to get $14 profit without a clue what I was doing, can I streamline these processes? Can I make it easier to continue to upload and grow my account and scale $14 to 140? And then if I get to 140, what's stopping me from doubling that to 280? You know, if you can make $280 in a day, that's a 6-figure annual salary. And the real answer is there's nothing really stopping you. Things that get in your way are going to be when Amazon changes the royalty payout structure, which we have no control over. We're at their mercy there. So what you could have relied on otherwise as a way of getting $280 a day, maybe now all of a sudden you're making $180 a day because Amazon increased their fee structure. That's still $180 a day of passive income profit. And you don't need to stop there. The whole thing is that with these passive income models, they are scalable. We upload a shirt and then we're on to the next one. We don't have to spend any time maintaining that shirt or trying to optimize the listing. No, just move on. The whole point of merch is to keep uploading, keep designing, keep selling, and they will continue to upgrade your account limits. The more you have for sale, the more you sell. That's how it works with print on demand. And it's not just Amazon too. You can upload to other platforms and make even more money off these same designs. Print on demand is such a good long-term play as long as you're smart about it. Speaking of being smart about it, the following month of my first big hit, I ended up getting banned for merch by Amazon for getting a little too cute and towing the line of the content policy one too many times. So learn from me, don't do that. I was very fortunate in that when I got banned, they said, hey, you can apply for reinstatement by essentially responding to this email and saying what you're going to do differently. So I went ahead and responded and never heard back. But at some point I remembered when I applied for Amazon merch, I applied, never heard back. What happened? I applied again, got in. So I said, you know what? I'll apply for reinstatement a second time because it worked when I applied twice to get in initially. Guess what? I applied for reinstatement a second time, got back in. I did space it out about a month though, just so you know. Anyways, if you're wondering also, while you're banned, you still get paid a royalty for your sales, if you were curious. But don't get banned. It's not worth it. This account is worth too much. And I got back in. I got my account back, I believe, in August. And then a mere 2 months later, I caught my second big trend. Now, it was very similar to the first in that it was a sports niche where I essentially just let the professional sports player promote the product for me. I just looked it up. I made sure it wasn't trademarked. I made double sure it wasn't trademarked at this point because I didn't want to risk my account. It was not. And then while they advertised it for me, I uploaded it to Amazon and collected a check, basically. I even did as well as making $700 in a single day of profit. So what you see here is net profit, not net sales, which is absolutely crazy. And one thing of note, the first and only time I've ever had somebody buy my t-shirt and intentionally 5-star review it for me was on this specific design. In addition to being first to market with selling it, because I've probably mentioned this before, but at my home computer, I have 3 monitors and then I have a TV right above the monitors. And a lot of times I'll just put sports on and mute it. But keep an eye out for those types of things, because when you see people on TV, obviously it's a platform with millions of eyes on it. If you see a funny shirt, go ahead and look it up. Is it trademarked? If it's not, go ahead and recreate the design and sell it. There's nothing wrong with that. Seriously. So, well, I mean, if it's like their personal brand and they're trying to make $1 off it and you go ahead and copy it, that's kind of messed up. You decide when it's okay and when it's not. If it's like a pro athlete, it was an MLB related shirt. The guy's making probably $100 million. He's going to, by the time he retires, he's going to have $1 billion in the bank because of the way that contracts are going these days. And I saw him wearing the t-shirt, didn't think twice, recreated the design, threw it up on Amazon. Next thing you know, I've made, I think, over $5,000 profit off that one t-shirt design. So guys, always be on the lookout for these trends. There's nothing wrong with, as long as it's not copyrighted, there's nothing wrong with selling it. Fourth quarter 2017, I was stoked to be seeing my first holiday sales rush while offering print-on-demand products via Amazon merch. I was taking part in community discussions on Facebook, on Reddit. I was listening to this awesome podcast called Merch Minds, and it was just keeping me excited about Amazon merch because at the end of the day, it is a very solopreneur business model in that while we are participating in the Amazon merch community, a lot of times we're sitting in an empty room by ourselves, grinding out these designs and these uploads. So it was keeping me excited. I had heard great things about the fourth quarter in 2016, and I was assuming that I was just going to crush it in 2017. Like, based on what I was hearing, I should have been able to project making $10,000 profit in December alone, and the sales really start to pick up in November. However, as you can see by this Homer Simpson picture on my blog, which, by the way, check out the link to the blog post if you want to read the full thing right there. Amazon messed up. They did not keep enough inventory in stock, and they were selling out of various shirt color and size combinations left and right. They were selling out all the time. And as a result, to help curb this, they were throttling listings in search results. There were people talking about not being able to find their best sellers on the primary keywords that they would rank number 1 on normally at all in search results. And fortunately for me, I was able to combat this, and I had a decent showing in the fourth quarter because I signed up through a little backdoor loophole for Amazon marketing services. So in 2019 now, they just let people on merch sign up for Amazon marketing services. They'll give you a code if you've got enough sales, and you can go in and advertise your shirts. Back then, though, it was like a little loophole that only the really sharp merchers were using. And fortunately for me, I had set up a bunch of Amazon merch campaigns with pretty low PPC bids. I mean, I had really nice ACOSs, advertising cost of sale. Low ACOS means you're protecting your profit essentially. And today, obviously, PPC bids go up because everybody can get in. Back then, not a lot of people were in. I used that to my advantage. I set up lots of PPC campaigns. And while my listings were throttled in the organic search results, the AMS campaigns were not throttled. So while everybody else's listings were essentially suppressed, not everybody, but the people that weren't advertising, mine were still showing up in headline search ads, product display ads, and sponsored product ads. And it looks like I did close to $7,000 in my first fourth quarter of Amazon merch. So I'll take that. So I also want to point out that around this time, I started to really understand the value of taking my Amazon merch designs and uploading them to other e-commerce marketplaces or making them available on other products, because Amazon merch still only had, I think back then, 3 products that you could upload to. It was like standard shirts, premium shirts, and actually it was 2 products. I don't think there was a third for a while. And then eventually they introduced long sleeve shirts. That might have been about the time where they brought out long sleeve. And then later on it was sweatshirts and hoodies. And then later on after that, pop sockets. I don't know what the future holds, but when you're creating these designs, again, the more internet real estate you occupy, the higher the likelihood of you getting a sale. Not everybody wants a t-shirt. Some people want tank tops. Some people want hoodies. Some people want stickers. So I found out about Gear Bubble. I signed up and started listing my Amazon merch designs on primarily coffee mugs and shot glasses and sometimes pillowcases. And I would integrate Gear Bubble with my Amazon seller account. And that way I could get a G10 exemption and create print-on-demand listings all day for free. You don't have to have a UPC code with a G10 exemption. I actually have a separate article about that on my website that you can go check out. But it was allowing me to list products that would never fall off if they never sold. Unlike Amazon merch where, again, if you don't get a sale, it'll eventually fall off. But I saw the value in that, I can just list them through my Amazon seller account, which already has all this positive feedback because I'm doing Amazon FBA. So it's complimentary. Perfect. And I listed a ton. Today, as of recording this, I've got something like 11 or 12,000 Gear Bubble products listed on my Amazon seller account as fulfilled by merchant, available forever. And then I also later found out about Printful.com, which is now my print-on-demand platform of choice because there's no monthly fees associated with using it. And they very easily integrate with Amazon, eBay, Etsy, all the major e-commerce platforms, and allow you to offer your designs that you have already created for Amazon merch on additional products on additional marketplaces. So it's a no-brainer to sign up for these platforms and start occupying more online real estate. So my next 14 months of Amazon merch following that first fourth quarter sales spike, the next 14 months, which essentially brings me from all of 2018 to today, April 2019, were not nearly as exciting as the first, 10 months? As you would imagine, guys. I mean, it started off when in January 2018, Amazon merch announces that they're going to nerf the royalty structure so that when we used to make $7.19 selling a $19.99 shirt, which is my favorite price point, now we make $5.38. That sucks. And if you thought that was bad, 1 year later in January 2019, they followed up again and said, hey, you know how you used to make $5.38? Well, now you make $5.23. And let me guess, it's going to happen again in 2020. Again, we're at their mercy. This is a great opportunity regardless. And there's still people making a killing, and I'm still doing well myself. But it just wasn't as exciting as back in the day when I made $700 in one day because the royalty payout structure was better. And they also were just letting in more and more people. So the competition on keywords, the number of copycats, the saturation, the race to the bottom with price points, etc., it all grows on you. And a lot of people get merch fatigue, especially if they're not seeing the level of success required to keep them interested. Now, again, for me, I'm always thinking long term. So I can go over to my merch account, see how much money I made today. And you know what? Actually, give me 2 seconds. I'll look off screen. $22.09 is how much I've made while I'm recording this video today. 22.09 times 365. $8,062.85 of additional profit on the year. If you can just do $22 a day, which is nothing, you'd be extremely happy with an extra $8,000 bonus at work. Or if someone at work said, hey, you're going to get an $8,000 raise, you'd be extremely happy. But if you can give yourself an $8,000 raise by just using Amazon merch, people scoff at it because they look at their dashboard and they think, I only made $22 today. Waste of time. And I don't get it. It's almost like mental gymnastics that you have to go through to trick yourself into understanding the long-term proposition that Amazon merch presents and that print on demand in general presents. Because like I said, if Amazon merch is making you $22 in a day, take those same designs, upload them as fulfilled by merchant to Seller Central, upload them to Etsy, upload them to Redbubble, and if you're better than I am at eBay, upload them to eBay. You'll be making more than $22 in a day. I mean, yesterday, for instance, I made $64.12 on Amazon merch. So 64.12 times 365. All of a sudden, that's 23 grand. So you have your ups and your downs with Amazon merch, as you do with any other business. We're at the mercy of the customers and the ebbs and flows of when they have a demand for something and when they don't. You know, also the things that we don't control include Jeff Bezos getting greedy and dipping into our pockets, but it is what it is. Amazon merch is free, so you can't complain. Another thing I wanted to touch on was the gamification of Amazon merch, and that really benefited me early on. So when I say gamification, it's when you apply like game tactics to things that aren't a game, to basically real life scenarios. And Amazon merch did a great job of doing this and enticing people to upload products every day. When you log into your account and it says 0 of 1 products uploaded today because you just got your Amazon merch account and you don't know how it works or what to do, but you see that indicator right there on the dashboard says 0 of 1 products uploaded today. And you're like, oh, I can upload only 1 product today? I feel compelled to do that. Then it'll say 1 of 1, and I feel like I've accomplished something. And then it says with a maximum of 10 products available for sale. And you're like, okay, so if I do 1 a day, every day, after 10 days, I'll have maximized those slots. It's like a game with real life repercussions, because if you're successful at this business, you make money. It's brilliant. And I love that. Every day I made sure to hit my daily upload limit. And when I was feeling ambitious and I figured out that you could save uploads as drafts, I would upload multiple extra a day. And then if you sell 10 shirts and you're in tier 10, they'll bump you to tier 25. And it might be a little bit less than that now. I think they're a little bit more lenient. It might be like 70 to 80% of the max. So maybe it's 7 shirts out of 10. They'll upgrade you to 25. Then you sell like 20 out of 25, upgrade you to 100, etc. It's something like that. I wish I could tell you exactly, but once your account is tiered up, you don't really know anymore what's happening in the low tiers. But every time they increase your maximum number of live products, they also increase your daily upload limit. And I treated it as a challenge. And I was actually excited to see if I could go from 1 upload a day to 2 to 5 to 20. And once I hit 20, guys, believe it or not, I still hit my daily uploads every day. But I had to shift my approach from one-off designs, like go to a funny t-shirt website and literally recreate every shirt design. I had to shift my approach from doing that because it took too long to doing templated designs, meaning, you know, I could make a Photoshop template that said world's greatest and then X, and X would just be swapped out for mom, dad, brother, sister, etc. And that allowed me to hit my upload limit, because for me, I felt accomplished when I hit that 20 out of 20 number until I maximized my daily limit. I felt like I had continued the tradition of maximizing those daily uploads and giving myself my best chance to succeed on Amazon merch. I mean, it had worked thus far. And I truly believe that the amount of money you make, it has a lot to do with how much you have for sale. It's not directly that, because there are people that have fewer designs available, but they're high quality and well keyword researched, etc., and they make a killing. But I believe that if you have those slots available, you should use them. The problem is the gamification kind of works against you once you get to the 1,000 tier and above. Because for me at 1,000 tier, I had 40 uploads a day. And then all of a sudden I went from being excited about trying to reach the upload limit to thinking there's no chance I'm going to hit it. And then I had to start deciding, like, when is it a day that I'm going to upload? And when is it a day where I'm just not going to even try? Because it went from me knowing it was going to be a part of my day to hit the 20 out of 20, or before that, 5 out of 5, 2 out of 2, 1 out of 1, to knowing that I wasn't going to do it. So then I had to kind of decide when it was an Amazon merch day instead of every day being an Amazon merch day. And as you can see from this screenshot here, I'm currently in tier 8,000. I have 0 of 800 designs uploaded today, but I can upload 800 designs in one day. I mean, that's absolutely crazy. And it's not even worth pretending like a real human is going to sit down and get 800 uploads done in a single day. However, I was recently introduced to some software to automate the upload process. Plus, Amazon Merch has a new Create tab in beta to help you upload one design to multiple products that I will be demoing shortly, but it looks like it has some potential. So there is something exciting to look forward to on the horizon. So anyways, guys, to sum up the last 14 months on Amazon merch that were not as good as the 10 months prior to that, which were my first 10 months of being a mercher and going through the early tiers where it's really exciting. But my most recent 14, you can see the chart here. I don't know the actual number of sales. It's clearly a couple thousand, but I did $21,970 in royalties over, actually, this is only 2018, so this didn't take into account a couple months, January, February, March of 2019. But either way, you get the gist. It's still working for me. I mean, basically $22,000 in my bank account that wouldn't have otherwise been there. I'll take that any day, and I'm sure you would too. There are people doing a better job at merch than I am, probably dedicating more time and attention to it. If you guys have been following my channel, I'm also, doing these uploads on YouTube, writing a blog. I work a 9 to 5 and teach college level courses, and I do my FBA business and work on my, Etsy account at the same time as my merch account. So I'm looking for solutions to streamline these things. As I just mentioned, the automation tool has a lot of promise. I'll keep you guys posted on how that all works out. But print on demand for me is not going away. It's still something I do every single day. When I mentioned the Printful Etsy integration and the Printful Amazon integration, I'm crushing those things. I'm uploading hats all day. The G10 exemption on Amazon and my FBM products, I'm doing that all day because they're available forever. So I'd be a fool not to do that. Whereas Amazon merch, again, if they don't sell, they fall off. FBM through Seller Central, they're there forever. And I get emails to my Yahoo inbox all day saying, hey, you just made a sale. Hey, you just made a sale. And it's for work that I did in the past. If I never uploaded another product to an e-commerce marketplace again, I'd still be crushing for the foreseeable future. It's not going to last forever, but hey, as long as people are going to Amazon to buy stuff, I'm going to be making money. So guys, thank you for checking out this video and hearing me talk and rant a little bit and hopefully share some valuable info about my first 2 years on Amazon merch. It was my 2-year anniversary pretty much today. It's been a great journey and an exciting one, and I've learned so much. And guys, if you found this video informative or helpful, hit that like button. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Drop me a comment if you have any questions or feedback. I'll see you at the next one.